Let's do another little update here as we reassemble this engine for our friend Nick. This was the one that was acquired, the whole car, engine, everything else. Engine was already built, acquired as a project. So we're going to test run it and found a few things that prevented us from doing so last week. But we're buttoning it back up here and hopefully we'll have it running a little bit later this afternoon. Chance to show some of these rocker arms. I've mentioned that I'm not a huge fan of these roller tip setups here. And also with these aluminum heads, there's not a lot of valve spring choices that make a good one. You really have to use an anti-bind type coil spring, superior quality with fewer coils. This particular set here may be an okay quality set, but it's the type that has 7 of these coils, and when you put 1.5 ratio rockers on these things, most of the time people have put performance springs, you get really close to binding them, if not actually binding them. And for the intended use of this engine, the 1.5 ratio is just going to stress everything unnecessarily. I believe we'll have more torque and drivability with our 3.1 final drive using a set of these 1.3 arms. I've kind of laid them up here. It's interesting to show. Again, I've mentioned somebody went to great length on these to center all of these tips, and what that does is it puts big shims in places. You really would rather have these arms as close to the pedestals as possible rather than strung way out there for the purposes of centering a roller tip. It's okay to have these slightly off, even quite a ways off, as long as they're not completely off the valve. There's no reason to really stress over trying to make it pretty underneath the valve cover. And so we're gonna take these off real quick. We're gonna put these 1.3 forged arms on. We put a shaft together, standard ratio. We're gonna go ahead and do this without taking the head gasket off. This happens to have the 11 stud, which of course gives us some torque, not just in a line with the standard 9 stud. And so we're going to zip these off real quick, put the others on, and simply torque the head 1 or 2 pounds higher. And we've gotten away with this sort of a swap out quickly before. We're going to put the DCOE 45 on here, get our starter and our test jig stuff, tighten up this clutch arrangement here to self-center our disc, and we should be making some noise here in a little while.